This is Mark Bell from supertraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West, answering more questions for the Power Project. But we have some very useful information for you here to start with as to why Treston Shulll decided to send a picture of his butthole to the entire ST team. Well, Treston had some sort of infection of some sort, and so he thought that he'd share it with the rest of the team and see what they thought. So he basically used super training. He used super training proctology as a form of recovery from whatever a-hole problems that he had. Now, I have no idea what comes in or what goes into that thing or what comes out of it, but whatever it is, it ain't good. And the picture was not pretty. I clicked on it. I nearly died. A couple of guys went blind. It was just disgusting. Anyway, back to the Power Project. Now that you got your answer to that, I know you've all been wondering what the hell was going on with his butthole. We got a question here from Peter Stoic off of Facebook. This is a question that I would say goes a little bit over my head, but I'll try to answer it anyway. It's about muscle fiber recruitment, and it's guy wants to know, is it possible for the CNS, I love the CNS to function more efficiently with low reps and explosive movements of the weight, and is it beneficial to control the weight on the negative? What more can be done to enforce muscle fiber recruitment? A little bit of a tough question to answer because it's my belief, and now I don't really know, but it's just my belief that in powerlifting terms, when we're trying to explode and we're trying to be fast, that we don't really care about muscle fiber recruitment. In fact, we don't even want to recruit tons and tons of muscle fibers. What we're trying to do is we're trying to be as efficient as possible, and I would say in some cases recruit less muscle fibers. However, you're recruiting a lot of muscle fibers in a short period of time. You hear people talk about time under tension. Now, I could be off on some of this. I'm going to admit that I have lost some of my knowledge of some of the science behind some of this stuff. I used to know it a little bit better, but as the years went by, I kept what I felt I needed to make myself stronger, and I left the things that that I thought would make me stronger. I left those things behind or chucked them in the garbage. Eccentrics and time under tension, things of that nature have been shown to cause not only muscle soreness, but have been shown to cause muscle growth. Now, I've heard conflicting evidence as to whether you drop the weights down fast, that you also come back up fast. I have never really found that to be the case for myself. However, I have seen that be the case with other lifters that are not only pliable and flexible, but that are also, they maintain great posture. So, in other words, if I had a high school football player come in and I taught him how to dive bomb in a squat, we all know that probably wouldn't look very good. But if I told him, hey, let's take about 5 seconds on the way down and then explode up, we all could kind of picture that in our head and realize that he'd probably have a little bit better success rate with that because he's a newer lifter, he's not advanced, he's not going to know how to take care of that, take advantage of that stretch reflex. On that same note, the stretch reflex, whether you're doing a bench press and you're bouncing it off your chest, or you're doing the same thing in the squat, or you're bouncing weights off the floor in a deadlift, I would have to say that would recruit less muscle fibers. The harder you make something and the longer you're under tension, I would say that would recruit the most muscle fibers. When I first started out doing a lot of this stuff, a lot of just strength training and a lot of experimenting on my own even, and a lot of bodybuilding type stuff. I did a lot of Charles Poliquin stuff. A lot of Charles Poliquin stuff would require you to take 4 to 6 seconds on the way down in a movement. Used low repetitions, so you might want to look into some of the stuff that he's written. I had a lot of success with that. I also was very sore from that, but I had a lot of success from that. 4 to 5 seconds, 4 to 6 seconds, somewhere in that range on the way down in the movement, and then normally you would just explode back upward. You didn't have to really worry about the upward motion of it, but sometimes he would suggest 4 seconds on the way down and 4 seconds on the way up. If you think about that, that's going to be a pretty quick way to get a pump. So again, I would say to recruit the most amount of muscle fibers, you're going to be looking at utilizing some sort of eccentric of some sort. And if your goal is to gain muscle mass, then maybe that's a route that you go. Maybe that's a route that you go in your assistance movement, or maybe that's a route that you go in your secondary barbell movement. So maybe the first thing you do is you do some max effort work, let's say with the safety bar, and you do a max set of 3. And let's say that after that, you say, you know what, my legs are skinny, and I'm going to take the box out, and I'm going to do sets of 8, and I'm going to do 4 seconds on the way down and explode up fast. And so now you're going to use a different weight. You'll have a much different stimulus. Your legs will probably burn and go on fire, and you probably won't be able to go up and down the stairs for a couple of days at a time. So I hope that answers your question. I hope that wraps things up for you there. And I have a question, a cliffhanger question for you guys out there. I know a lot of you guys know the answer to this one. It's actually pretty easy. But what was the year that super training started? That'll be the cliffhanger answer on the next Power Project, and that's it from supertraining.tv. Later.